Good morning. I have on my wool socks that I use whenever I'm backpacking. They're the socks that I sleep in, right? Usually, when you backpack, you have one pair of socks that never get worn when you're hiking, only when you sleep. And I'm wearing the ones that you sleep in, right? Or that I chose or bought specifically for sleeping in, right? But my feet are cold. My feet are always cold. Uh, and plus, I had on my boots because it's wet outside. And I just kept thinking on the whole way home because I'm a little tired, only got like 5 hours of sleep. I can't wait to get home, turn on my heater because it's cool in here, quite cool in here. Get into my comfortable, like my pajamas, throw on my like little poncho thing, yeah. Make my coffee. And I just sat here for a minute, right? Before I turn this on to record. Because I realized something. I had been I've not been able to enjoy my house since I've had my cats, right? Because I am one of those people that requires like time before going to work and time after coming home from work to um, shift my frequency, right? Like to decompress, to just be still. I just want to be left alone so that I can like drink my coffee. I make my coffee, usually burn some incense, but it's cold outside. I don't want to sit outside, right? Um, Instead, I'll just light a candle in here. But I'm one of those people that requires like quiet time in between these transition times, right? Like before I go to work, I require that time to myself. And then whenever I come home from work, I require that time to myself. I don't want to be bothered because I've just spent 8 hours of my time being bothered and constantly stimulated, right? Um, and I just want no stimulation uh, when I come home. Are you like that? Is anybody else like that? I think it's beneficial, right? But I was just sitting here and I went into like, you know, it's crazy. It's just crazy to me. I'm still going through the contrast of having chaos in my house and being overrun by animals, basically, to peace. It's peaceful, right? I don't have to worry about them. The first thing I would do whenever I come in the door is immediately feed them, right? Like, and get their things together and yada yada yada, and then I would like. So it was very chaotic when I first come home, right? And I'm constantly having to like open the door for them or yada yada, right? And I don't have to do that anymore. And it is such a stark difference, and I quite prefer not having to worry about it, right? I quite prefer just not having that in my house, right? I will never have another like pet. And I have a lot because I did spoil the crap out of my cats, right? Like spoil them, love them, yeah, but like I have very nice cat things for them, for any inside cat, right? Nice feeding bowls, a whole thing of food left in there, uh, little tunnels for them to play in, a little cat house over here, a really nice, like, covered litter box, nice mat, a nice food mat. I've got medicines, ear cleaners, I've got like all of this stuff. And I was talking to the lady at work tonight, and apparently her boyfriend that lives with her has 8 cats, and they stay inside. Could you imagine? I just can't imagine. But I told her, I said, hey, I've got like all of this cat stuff. I was like, I've got a big cat thing that they climb up on and like play on and stuff. She said, ooh, they would probably love that. Like the excitement in her voice. I was like, I can bring it all to you, right? Like I will drop it off tonight whenever I come in. I'll make time to like come by and get the stuff to you. So I'm very happy that like all of the things that I have will benefit someone. So I'm very, very happy about that, right? Because I have a problem. I have these things in my home that I need to get out of my home, right? And then I can move my hydroponic system over here and get my hydroponic garden up and running, right? Um, and a big reason that I haven't had that up and running is because I didn't want them jumping on it, messing up the lights, or like basically jumping on it, right? And getting into my plants and messing it up. Um, So once I get all that out of there, I can just hook my hydroponic system back up and grow. I think I'm going to grow my medicinal herbs in here. Right? I think that would be nice. So that I went into work last night and it did not smell. It's kind of strange. It had like a florally smell to it. Not sure, but some crazy stuff like unfolded over that whole situation. Like, I guess uh, the Christian girl woman um, called like the big bosses, and I mean we're talking like big bosses, right? And then her and the supervisor got into like some shouting match, yada yada. I don't know. It's a lot of drama from one source, you know. But anyways, I brought both of my masks last night just in case. I put them back in my car. I like having them in my car. Um, so that's taken care of. I did a run on the community line of some different things continuing on because it's a continuous thing. First, by addressing that stuff, you know, and then I went into the quantum stuff. See, let me tell you what happened. What happened was, is I used to put all of my research and all of my like chemical work and all of my um, vortex and project work, like I used to put all of that in their language, right, into the scientific community's language. But then whenever like strange threats started popping up on my phone, and uh, strange things started happening at my work, like psyop stuff, right, happening at my work, and you say, well, what psyop stuff? Well, this was when I was in the cabin, right? And you've seen the pictures of the cabin, so clearly there's some wonky things, yeah, that occurred. Uh, I had a dream that I was in. So the lodge that I was working at had like a sister lodge or whatever with a different name. But I had a dream And whenever I compared like my dream to the buildings, it looked like the building that I didn't work at. The roof of it did, right? But the soda machine that I went to in my dream looked like the one at the lodge, like the garage. So in the dream, I had gone outside because that's where it was, outside to get a Mountain Dew out of the vending machine. But then, like, something weird happened and it like switched over, and I was like going upstairs, and there was like this old gray haired man like after me with a gun. And I made it to the top of the roof, and then I see like this I hear a song, and then I hear this or see this blue electric like triangle that like zaps me away before like I'm in any actual danger of this person, right? And I don't know, I can't remember. I don't think I was like video logging. I don't know if I recorded that down somewhere, or maybe I told the person I was talking to in Australia that, or maybe my phone was on. I don't know, right? But shortly after that, I was at work one night, and a similar situation played out, right? An older couple come in, or the guy looked older, and this was supposedly his girlfriend, right? And the way that the lodge is set up, there's like my desk, just one little like area with elevators, and that's it. And then the door is like right there out into the garage, right? It's very small, limited space. And the lady comes down shortly after they like check in or whatever. And like the lady comes down and she says, "My boyfriend's after me with a gun." Right? Right? And I'm thinking, well, that's odd. You just came out of the elevator. Wouldn't you take the stair? Right? Like, I am so fucking logical. It is not even funny. Right? Like, it's not even fucking funny. Like, it's not normal. It can't be normal, right? I'm like, but you came out of the elevator, like, and your boyfriend's chasing you with a gun. Wouldn't you have taken the stairs, right? And so then I'm like, well, shit. Like, if he comes down out of the if he comes down with a gun like out of the stairs, the elevator, like I don't know if he's dangerous or not, right? Like he could fucking shoot me, right? Like, so my instinct is to not call the cops immediately, right? Because she leaves or goes out, and so I go out and I go across the street and I call like the cops and stuff, and call my boss, who was in the Marines, yeah. Like, I call my boss and let him know what's like going on, right? But I'm gonna get myself out of like harm's way because I don't know how dangerous this guy is, right? And there's really nowhere for me to fucking go. I guess I could have went into the storage room maybe, or like that little side room. I don't know, right? But that's just what I did at the time, yeah. So anyways, the cops come, right? And they go up there, and the cops are telling me, well, she said that he said that he threw it in the trash can or some shit like that. Like, it was supposedly in a trash can, but they couldn't find it. This is what the fucking cop said to me. She said he threw it in the trash can, but we couldn't find it, so we're done here. What? What? No one's arrested, no nothing, and you can't find the weapon that he was just supposedly threatening this woman with, and you're done? And you're done? The fuck? Right, right. So I was just like, okay, well, this is fucking weird. Right? So, anyways, like, you got to think, like, during this time, like, there's all of that. I'm giving all of my work to, like, or sharing all of my work with someone who's, like, interested in, like, Tesla stuff, like, is very, like, love vibration and blah, 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 blah. Like, asking me if he could share my work with some wealthy people. My initial thought was, no, I don't think that's a good idea. But then I was just like, who cares, right? Like, who the fuck am I? Like, I'm just, whatever, right? So I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, right? At least he had the decency to ask. And then some shit, and then shit just went fucking wonky, right? So it just went fucking wonky. So one day I'm at the river, right? At my peaceful river place, right? Like, it's my favorite river in that city. Yeah. I'm over there and I'm like going through YouTube or whatever, and I'm like watching, and all of a sudden I get a fucking survey at the end of it. Have you ever gotten a survey at the end of a fucking YouTube video? Have you? Because I never have, and I don't own a TV, but I'm constantly like putting things together on YouTube, right? Um, asking a question about pertaining to someone I would care about in their life, right? So I was like, oh, yeah, right. I never put, I burned everything, right? I burned everything. And I'm sure that this is the response that they wanted. Oh, they also did this, right? Like, I had been crying, and there was a picture of me crying, and somehow that made it onto my social media, right? So once again, like this little shamey thing, right? Like big girls don't cry, right? Like, women who've gone through a lot of shit, right? Like, really going through a lot of shit, really been through a lot of shit. Like, I'm not supposed to be able to fucking cry, or that I am supposed to be shamed for fucking crying. Are you kidding me? You pieces of shit. Right? So clearly, whenever your fucking cities turned into Silent Hill, I did not give one iota of a fuck. Right? None. But, uh, needless to say, I just kind of like got everything and then left the area, right? Like, I spent a few months just riding in a truck with a random person, riding in a truck with another random person, just like all over the US, right? Like, Mary, mother of fucking Jesus, right? Yeah, I did that. All right, if you're on the move, can't bother me, right? And then guess where I end up now? Like, where I'm at now. I am in a town with a German Mason building with every single fucking state street, right? And do you think that doesn't matter? Oh, it matters, my dearies. It matters because we're in the quantum fucking world now, yeah? Oh, it fucking matters. Yeah, it matters. Everywhere I went fucking matters. Yeah. Everything I've ever done matters. So, oh, before that, I was down at the distillery, right? Like, I had worked there until that fucking dickhead, like, tested me with his ego, and I left him shocked, right? I left him fucking shocked. But, they put me down at the end to, like, stack up the boxes or whatever one day. This is crazy, right? You know how you'll just be, like, not really like autopilot, but when you clear your mind and there's nothing in your mind, right? Like, I paint like that. When you clear your mind and there's nothing in your mind, you'd be amazed at what you can see, or it's likened to like automatic writing, right? Like, that's something they used to talk about like way back when. I don't think it's such a popular topic now, but like automatic writing where you like clear your brain and then you kind of, things just appear, right? Well, I was doing something with boxes, right, at the distillery, and I looked down, And I had fucking built a fucking big rig, right? Like I had moved the correct amount of boxes, put in place the correct amount of boxes to create a big rig. And I even said it to the guys, right? I was like, I was like, look, I built a truck. Like, right? And then I end up on one. Isn't that crazy? Like right after that, right? Because I pissed off their shitty management, yeah. Right. Because what's good for the goose should be good for the gander, but apparently not. Right. In their world. I do have some crazy. I have some crazy fucking stories. I do. And I could. Well, we can go over them as many times as necessary, right? Right. Um, but I try to spend less time on those things until they're relevant, or I just want to make a point about something, right? Or it's relevant to the topics at hand, ones that I'm discussing, to let you know that there is a reason that I don't put things in their language. I can. Oh, I'm very capable. I am, right? But we already tried that and they tried me and here we are. Yeah. So there's that. So if you think that I'm spending more time on working on, like if you listen to everything, read everything, watch everything that I put in the order, right, you may think, okay, well, I can see that you're working on, like, maybe we're working on a topic like yesterday, right? Like there's a perception of that these people who are stereotyped this way, right? This is how the world sees them. This is surface, and this is stereotype that's created because of surface, and then here's what's underneath it, right? Here's the human part of it, right? Right. And I even remember old Mr. who was written, whose name appeared over here at the GNAL lab. Yeah. I remember, like, when we were younger, I guess because I don't know if it's just because like I had moved to the area, so I didn't have like the know of uh, or the rumor of or the perception of certain families, right? Like all I knew was my direct experiences and interactions with people, right? So when somebody said, "Oh, they're like stuck up or they're blah blah blah," I was like, "Oh, really?" I was like, he's been nothing but super nice to me. I was like, I don't think he's like stuck up or whatever at all, right? Like that was because of my experience with this person, right? Like somebody had not painted my like perceptions, right? Or my whatever. Like I can make up my own mind about this person uh, by my own experiences and interactions with them, right? Like, so sure, like I can put, that's because I'm trying to help people. There are people that really need to like you need to crawl before you walk and you walk before you run. And the crawling part is these things are necessary. Like there is spiritual necessary things. There are things that are too overlooked by society that need to be examined, need to be observed. They need to be observed. They need to be addressed so that we can raise people's consciousness so that you understand the more technical parts of the sciences, right? Because the people who are running around like chickens, like they know everything in the sciences, are completely neglecting that part. And that part is the most important part, right? That's the foundation part. So the people who watch this channel, keep up, who are interested in it, right? Like you're going to get the foundations of it. So you're going to understand the totality of it all, right? The more complicated shit will make much easier sense to you than it is them using these fucking words, these fucking things that are very easily simplified out of their garble, right? It's so much easier, right? It's so much easier. They will use languages and stuff. They have rebranded and renamed things so that it makes them feel exclusive, like they're smarter than you are, right? That's all it is. That is all it is, right? Like all the shit that they have all came from the natives and stuff, right? Like even Einstein himself went out and said, "Oh wow, like these people already know what the fuck is going on. They're actually living this, right? Right? So what does that tell you? Yeah, they want they want the results without doing the work, right? Or taking shortcuts. They're taking shortcuts, right? Because God forbid, you're part of that equation, right? God forbid your energy is part of that equation, right? Unless you're soulless, and then of course not, right? Like you can't. That's something else I wanted to address. Yes. Uh, these things that'll come in and like whisper things or do things, right? Like once you step into that world, yeah, uh, you'll realize they're really dumb. They are dumb. They are dumb. They need you to teach them. They're dumb, right? These things that'll come in and like the reason that they learn what you believe, right, or what they think you believe, right, or try to pin you down, yeah, is so that they can like manipulate that, right? So when you change your whatever, they change their whatever, right? Do you see how that works? Do you see what I'm saying? Right? It's not that they're actually like smarter. It's not that they're actually like, it's not like they actually have power, right? They don't, right? Always remember, they cannot create anything, right? You know, whenever I was like studying law or whatever, like my teacher was he's a practicing lawyer, right? And so I couldn't help but think, right? You get these people, you recruit these people who pay you for a piece of paper. But what are they doing the whole time? They're culling your mind, your ideas, right? He could have easily, and I'm sure he did, right? And if he didn't, then that's dumb, right? You can't, don't hate the player, right? Like, you know, right? But there's a difference in awareness and no awareness, right? So he could have easily said, I wonder what kind of arguments they could come up with this case, right? Or maybe I need a fresh mind for this case. So this week, guys, I want you to write an argument for this um, particular scenario, yada, yada, yada. It's due by Friday, right? So we argue the case. Everybody argues the case. Uh, he goes through, picks the best one or the best idea or something he didn't think of, right? And he just got paid, right? For your work, for your mind, right? Your ideas. But you're paying them to teach you, right? Right? Do you see the fuckery? Do you see the fuckery? Do you see the fuckery? This comes down to the perception perspective, right? Like, if you want the perspective, then you have to put yourself in a position to gain the perspective, right? Like if I want the perspective of a fast food worker, then I'll go work fast food, right? And I have. I have. Because I was just like, what's it like? Right? Just be fucking curious, right? What's it like? Right? What's it like in their shoes? Hmm? Right? Right? Like Trump went and worked his little shovel fries for one day at McDonald's, right? Uh, because there was a big fight about who actually worked like fast food or whatever, right? It's crazy to me. Yeah, it's crazy, right? And it's crazy to like live in a society that doesn't appreciate that, right? Like my resume is colorful as fuck, right? I can't even put like half the shit on my resume, right? But they prefer someone who's been doing one thing for 20 fucking years at the same whatever, right? That's what looks good to them. It's not, oh, well, you're a fucking gem because like you've done all of these things, which would make you more well rounded, right? Y'all get on my fucking nerves. And in the meantime, I come home and I do this, right? Or in the meantime, I'm at work and I'm doing that, right? Like I position myself so that I can work on my work by getting paid by them, right? Sort of like the same concept behind the school thing, yeah? So I put myself in a position to where I can get paid doing the bare minimum, mhm, to do the maximum on what's important to me, right? And that's how you stay happy. You'll say, "Oh, Randy, you're happy. You've been complaining about them, right?" Well, because I've been doing this for 2 years, right? I'm done. I'm over it, right? I'm just fucking done. But what I'm choosing to do with the tech school is what I will do until I buy my land in Colorado and I get some fucking chickens. Yeah, maybe some ducks. They're cute. All right. And I have a table saw and I can build my house. Yeah. And just do my own fucking thing. Yeah. That's the goal. It's always been the goal. Goal doesn't change, right? Although the route to get there may. Right? Right? And if I am in a place that isn't going to get me there, honestly, yeah, right? Because that's a big part of it too, right? Like, in order to keep true to my morals, my principles, and my whatever, right? Then it's just harder. It's just harder in an evil world. It's just harder. That's fact, right? If you are not willing to be someone's pliable puppet, then good luck. Good luck. You are not the lucky, like, you're not the, well, they're not really lucky, but yeah, yeah, some things are not worth. I would not trade what I know and what I can do for their shit, right? I just wouldn't. I wouldn't. No, no, not when you know how it really works, right? Right? Not when you know how it really works. And those things, like I said, will come in time. First, we're going to work on everybody's like getting your consciousness up, bringing certain things into your awareness, right? The topics, like I said, there is nothing accidental that I post, right? And if nothing else, work on your symbolism. Yes, learn learn how to decode and learn how to speak in a different language. Learn how to use that. Learn how to develop your own, right? You see, the first thing that I did whenever I went out, I don't ever waste anything. Nothing is accident. When you look at life, like nothing is accident or coincidence, and everything is there as your teacher, right? A situation like being in truck with random people, like for months, right? It doesn't become like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like, no, why would I be scared, right? Why, right? But you use it to your advantage. You figure out what the opportunity is in it, right? So I studied the architecture of their how they have you ever noticed that like certain buildings are always grouped together, right? This is something I noticed, right? Whenever I was out. There are certain stores that are always grouped together, right? There's a certain layout. There's a certain design to their stuff. It is, right? So I observed that, right? I observed their broadcast. I did a lot of things. I did a lot of things, yeah. But on surface, it just looks like what? Right? Learn to operate that way, right? That was something else I wanted to talk about or touch on briefly with the quantum videos, right? Like, this is a topic I will barely uh, discuss, especially in their language. I'll put the videos up, but I am not going into any further, right? Those videos let you know I understand what I'm talking about, right? Or I understand this science, yes. Um, when you understand that you are operating in multiple layers from one space, multiple timelines from one space, that goes along with why is there a weird saxophone player across the street? Why is the car parked out there? Why? Because I'm working on multiple timelines right now, right? Sort of like with the girl who said that she felt like she had a timeline shift. She's in Walmart because she's watching, seeing herself, her two kids, and then the one kid that she supposedly miscarried, right? You are in a blended timeline, right? Like that's one timeline, right? But you happen to be in this one where you lost your child, right? And so, like I said before, the idea is to bring all of that, right? Or to, it's either bring all of that into where each person, from their traumas, this is one way to look at it, like that was obviously traumatic for her. She separates, goes to a different like timeline, blah, 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 to move everyone back into like a singular whatever. Or it is to, uh, move into a timeline that is more preferable or suitable, right? So we could do that in reverse. We could blah blah blah. I don't have the videos where they were complaining out here or saying that I was going to erase or that I'm erasing certain things, and I am, right? Because this is all coding to me, right? It's all coding. It's all quantum coding to me, right? What they're trying to do with the supercomputer, I told you nothing new under the sun, yeah. So it's because they're using a particular language that just really isn't the best language, right? And they're putting it into like physical, whatever, right? Like it's kind of weird to me. Like people like we're going to study the nature of the universe, we're going to do it from a computer. It's kind of weird, yeah. Right? But you know, everything's balanced, yeah. Like in a modern world, you have to use, or you don't have to, but if I'm going to teach anything, right? Or the best way for me to like do what I'm here to do, or for my purpose, is to uh, integrate it, right? Like integrate it into modern whatever, right? Like YouTube. I'm not always the best person to speak on particular things, right? And it would get pretty boring trying to listen to me for everything, I think, right? There are people that I find, right, that explain something completely perfect, right? And I'm like, this will help a person, right? And you're getting a different face, a different video. It's different, right? Like, so that keeps you engaged, hopefully, right? Like, um, because people are going to scroll through their phones. They're going to watch things that it might as well be helpful, right? That's my like logic behind that, right? Is that we are a collective people, right? A collective conscious, right? Some people are just noise. Some people are doing the right work and are saying or doing or explaining things in the right way, right? And when you know whose vibrations are genuine and whose aren't, and if somebody can find that for you and put that together for you, like that's a gift. Okay, it is, especially with how insane uh, this world and the uncertainty and unknowns of it have become, right? Like during this particular time. Okay. So I just feel like it's good to get different perspectives, different people say different things that are done better. That's what they do. Let them be good at what they do, right? I've said this before. Let people be good at what they do. I could share their work. I do not need to make a whole fucking video off of their shit, right? Like I just put it on there. I have my own things, right? Like I manipulate sound. Like I do these other things like with my videos. Okay? Like I'm good at what I do. I have my thing. But these people, this is what they do and this is helpful for the collective. Yes. And the buttholes, yeah. The nefarious of the nether realms, yeah. Like my ego, my ego is not so big, right? That I would ever need to tell them everything or more than enough, right? To get my point across, right? Like I will never be whatever, right? I don't even know what term to use. I will never be. Uh, you will never gaslight me enough for me to just hand you the answers. No, 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 no. Not with no, no. I'm just gonna take care of business with you fuckheads, yeah. Like, and then I'm gonna, like I said, go through the whatevers that are necessary, help bring people's consciousness up. Then my attention is going to you assholes, right? Like, right? But I'm never ever gonna be like, I don't need to prove shit to these. Nope. Nope, because I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I know what the fuck I've been doing, and I know what I'm doing. And they obviously are still trying to figure it out, right? So, just so we get that clear, right? I know this. So, like I said, learn something, yeah? Just learn something, right? Let's talk about those traumas, right? Let's take care of that first, yeah. Right, because people, whenever they deal with their like the real shit, the like below the surface shit, there's surface actions and their other actions tend to change, right? Like for the better. So they go from like uh and not in a Pavlov way, right? Like I'm gonna bully you and blah 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 you into like doing or being or pretending to be like the person that I want you. No, none of that. No, it is I've done the work. I understand deep work, yada yada yada, and now my perceptions or my perspective has changed. Right, right. Or like I have dissipated my ego through this process. Right, like right, because these are two totally different. I'm telling you, the most nefarious fucks you'll ever meet are the ones that run on pure ego. Right, I was listening to this guy. He's got really good videos, and he does a really good job of uh, just blatantly like explaining a lot of it. He talks about a lot of topics that others would find relatable. Truth Tiger. I found him this morning. I listened to him on the way home. Right, like good stuff. Check out his channel. He's just the real ones. We don't fucking put a big production into our shit because we don't have to. Right. Right now, I've got blue light going on this, right? And they'll tell you, oh, red light therapy is good for you, and blah, blah, blah. Red is what? Your root chakra. Yeah. Blue is what? Your throat chakra, right? Always relate the color to the chakras, to the energy centers. Be intentional with your things because God knows they are intentional with theirs. Yes, they are. Right. So be intentional, right? When you want to speak through a truth, that is a blue thing. When you're working from the crown, that is purple. Purple is mostly what I work for or work through. Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's the crown, you know. Not like not like the British, right? Not that shit. You get what I'm saying, right? Anywho. Yeah. So there is a crazy stories rundown of my for a long time, like I didn't even like I was just like, this shit is so I was like, this shit is so fucking crazy, right? It sounds like some shit out of a fucking movie, out of a fucking book. There is absolutely no I can't even fucking get people to believe that the motherfucker that raised me was a piece of shit, alcoholic, abusive, blah, 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 blah. I can't even fucking get people to listen about that, right? How in the fuck, right? Like, it was a time, right? And because I understand, like, how difficult that is, right? Like, I have this channel. Yeah, I have this channel, right? Because it is really hard whenever you don't have anyone to help guide you. It might be the good and best thing, right? Like for you to just go with the flow and kind of like figure it out on your own. But genuine good help, like, cannot be understated. And there's not enough of it, right? Not enough of it. So, anyway, there are just a few of my crazy, like, that was a bit of my Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I don't know what the hell to call it, right? Like just insanity. Oh goodness. You would think like people would be like, wow, your life is so boring. Like, okay, right? Like, anyways, I hope everyone has a great day. And yeah, it's almost my bedtime. I wasn't even gonna have coffee. I was just gonna go to bed. Right? I'm tired, but that is that.